Hello once again, this is Apple Lampstead Kim with a brand new in-action video for you. Checking out Warhammer Quest, which just came out today, one of the big Thursday releases. And it comes from Rodeo Games, the makers of the Hunters series, which give you top-down RPG strategy games. And that's essentially what Warhammer Quest is. The main difference is that it's built on the popular Warhammer board game fantasy world that you're going to dive into. So here's our four main characters we have, and you can jump in to the market. Oops. Small little tappable buttons for sure. And then, you can outfit your armors and really upgrade your character with the RPG style. That's tying into the training grounds. You need to reach a certain XP, all that kind of good stuff. But let's go adventuring. And we got 2 available quests right now. And let's dive into this one. Dive into the more action-packed one, I believe. So the game is all about building up the board game into a more deluxe game that's really suited for iOS. And that really translates into a dungeon crawling RPG where there's just going to be quite numerous enemies to come across. So with that in mind, let's dive into the first phase of battle. Miss. Of course. Let's move the wizard back and then get this guy up into action. Okay, get that guy. And then we also have an archer that can help us. Great. So anyway, it's a turn-based game where you're going to be battling back and forth with the different monsters that you come across. And then the dungeon crawler aspect is you really don't know what you're going to come across. It's going to be orcs and goblins and that type of stuff. And you just have to use your little battalion of merry men to get ready of everything that comes against you. There's deluxe details and why you're missing. It's dependent upon the skill level of your character and the enemy. You tap and hold to see all their details. For instance, like that. Wizard is locked in, so that means we have to end our turn. And this is essentially the entirety of the game. You're going to go from battle to battle as you dive through these dungeons to complete all kinds of various quests that appear in the game. And I believe there's over 20 hours of gameplay included. And then you're just going to keep upgrading your characters to handle the more deluxe enemies that you're going to be coming across. The game is effortless to control. It's all tap-based, where you have that board game style where you're just going to position your characters. You tap on the character, then double tap where you want to move. Every piece is positioned so there's a square grid to move on. Double miss. Excellent. So let's open up the journal. So this is where you're going to dive in to all the different aspects of the game. So as you can see, this is what you have to deal with. And there's just so many intricacies. I mean, this is just one of the first parts of the game, so it's not the most depth. It's pretty straightforward. But as you go, you're going to come across a lot of strategy involved, and that's what really Rodeo Games is known for. They were a good choice for the developer based on what they've already established in the Hunters series. This isn't necessarily the true Warhammer that you know. There's no multiplayer, which is really what the series is built on with the fantasy board game style. But that doesn't take away from the deluxe single player campaign that is included. Get rid of those guys. And then we'll keep on going. Each time you get to progress through and open up just another piece of the dungeon. And each time you open up a new piece of the dungeon, you're going to come across new enemies to contend with. So let's position our guys the best we can. Get rid of some giant spiders. Good archer actually got a hit in there. Wizard attacks still aren't available. Oh, web attack. Noise. Let's get rid of some spiders. Done with the spiders. So we've added to our stash, so with that in mind, let's check out the inventory. There's a nice system where it's kind of up to you if you like it or not, but you get to rotate to access your inventory, and then you can accessorize your character. Obviously, you're going to have much more to deal with as you go. Also, enemies can just pop up. You don't have to necessarily advance to the next screen, as you can see right there. And really you have to commend the developers in doing such a good job with the graphics. I mean, this game looks really ornate as you're in these finely crafted dungeons. I didn't get that guy. Miss, good. Another miss, excellent. You know, even if you're not familiar with the Warhammer series, you can enjoy this game just because it's classic dungeon crawling that's made into turn-based strategy. I mean, anyone can pick up this game and dive into all that's included. Granted, the appeal of the game does depend on what type of games you like. It's not for everyone, obviously. But if you are a fan of this type of genre, there's definitely a lot to enjoy. Maybe one of the best dungeon crawlers in the App Store, regardless if you're familiar with Warhammer or not. You know, it just even has that aspect of being like you're having a band of merry men in the Lord of the Rings saga and dealing with those kind of action combats. You can think of it however you like. It's just a fantasy RPG. And they've made it really friendly to casual gamers if you're not, you know, heavy into this type of genre. There are some slow-moving and tedious aspects, definitely. But there's still plenty of action. Oh, great. Now we're facing tougher enemies. And a whole bunch of them, as you can see. And it looks like our archer's now down too. Luckily these guys replenish if you can complete this dungeon, or even if you don't, you can replay it with your characters back. But for the remainder of this dungeon, we got two guys to help really power us through. And that is essentially Warhammer Quest. And this is really a deluxe game for iOS, no matter how you slice it. We hope you enjoyed our Apple and Apps in Action video.